Alright guys, welcome back to the Vibe Podcast episode number 2. That is correct. We did come back for another episode. It's not a one season episode wonder. But today we have got a very, very special guest. Now just before we get into that and introduce him, the feedback on the first episode was incredible. Thank you so much for all the love and support, obviously, and the comments, the interactions, all of that kind of stuff. All of our descriptions and socials will be in the links below if any of you guys have any questions and things like that for future episodes. But I think you guys are excited. Obviously, I'm quite excited. I think I speak for my co-host, LadToDad.
I'm excited for this one.
Yep. Ready to get into it?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's introduce the main man himself.
Let's introduce our special guest, FIFA content creator. You may know him, you may not. If you do, get to know. It's going to be REAPERZz.
I want to say thank you, first of all, for having me on the Vibe podcast. Much appreciated. I did watch the whole of the first one, and I'm very privileged to be the first guest.
Privilege.
Yeah, privilege.
We haven't paid him. We haven't paid him. Don't worry. We haven't paid him.
My PayPal hasn't gone off just yet.
Yeah, the invoice hasn't come in yet, guys. We'll see the damage after the episode. You know.
How have you been anyway, Reaps?
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I spoke.
Yeah, it has been very long. Yeah, I mean, FIFA is what it is, isn't it? You know what I mean? Me and Fizzy always stream about the same time, so I don't really get to see Fizzy in the flesh. Does that make any sense?
Vice versa, literally. Do you know what? I was just thinking before we came, and I was like, what time does Reaper stream? Just randomly, and I'm just like, he streams the same time with me. That's why I never catch a stream.
Yeah, bro.
It's just one of those, mate. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It's mad. So quick, we do this. We did this in episode 1. All right, I'm gonna jump straight into it because me and Fizzy were talking, and we said, what can we do on future episodes that's like straight thing, the first question that we ask any guest that we get on. So you might not expect this, but in your own words, give us a sort of a minute Dragon's Den style pitch of what your channel is about.
So I've kind of done like all sorts on my channel. I've done like a little Q&A. I've done Jesus, when FIFA got really tough last year, I was doing Fall Guys. I mean, that was yeah.
Oh, mate, you fell under that.
Yeah,
hype.
I did. Yeah.
Oh.
Don't you say anything about Fall Guys, Fizzy. I'm telling you, them little beans were amazing.
But no, on an serious note, like I took I've been streaming FIFA for I don't know how long, to be honest. I've been streaming FIFA for ages, and I don't know, my channel is kind of everything. I do a little bit of all sorts. Nothing really on my channel stands out. I mean, as of recent, I've been doing like Bronze Pack Method, and that seems to be doing very well. Pack openings, you know, I mean, I've funded basically EA's
all things FIFA, really, kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, nothing like I said, nothing too exciting. Anything like yourself that drops at 6 p.m, you got to try and build off of that. I mean, as we're recording now, they've just dropped to Bruno Fernandes, you know, but
oh yeah. For everyone who's listening, I'm sure there's people interested.
The thing is, I'm sat here, guys, and I really want to be interested in FIFA, but I'm done with the game. I'm completely done with the game. I'm sat and I'm like, Bruno Fernandes, there was only one last month that cost people like 1 million coins, and now there's another one that's going to cost them like another 1.5 million coins. So it's just, I don't know.
The thing is that this company can do so much more with their game, but they just don't want to. And I know for a fact at the start of like all this COVID stuff, they wasn't blaming it on COVID. But when FIFA 21 demo was going to come out, and they were like, oh no, because of COVID, and you know, we're not able to get in the offices, we're trying to make the best game ever. And
that tweet that came out, that, you know, that we're trying to give was it the best possible gaming experience or something?
Yeah.
So, oh mate, come on now.
They shot themselves in the foot with that, though. Let's be honest, because it's like people's expectations then went through the roof, thinking this is going to be the best game ever, and you know, obviously the first few weeks were great, and then all of a sudden, it just sort of dropped off. But yeah, we'll get on to FIFA in a little bit. But going back to obviously your channel, and you've obviously built up a really great community in what you've done. And from what I could gather, you've pretty much done whatever you want to do that interests you. And there's always then periods where you try and bring in the views at certain times, like you say. But I mean, how did your journey start? Like, I want to know, sort of strip back. What made you start YouTube? Like, what was the reasoning behind it?
So it's a very funny story. So obviously I'm reasonably good at the game. When the game Foot Champs very first started off, I was given all of my content to Reeve. And Reeve was open.
Reeve, hey, wait, Reeve as in the Reeve.
Yeah.
The Reeve.
You gotta make sure, mate. Do you know what? There's so many fake accounts and things out there. A lot of people will know.
Yes.
You just gotta make sure.
Yeah. So
wait, so you were giving your content to him?
Yeah. So I was giving him the best rewards I've managed to give him was top 100, which was for Team of the Season Prem. And I got I think it was
big rewards, big video.
Yeah, I think I got I think in that video I got Son and Pogba. I think Pogba's been a Team of the Season, or it was an inform, and Son and Pogba were in the same week. I don't know, whatever it was. It's a long time ago, but it's very much forgotten. So, but yeah, and then I've literally my first ever sort of video I recorded was me and my mate. I bought basically I had all the gear and no idea. I didn't know what to record. So. Yeah. I went out of.
I know that feeling.
I went out of my way, and
I know that feeling.
We were googling like funny challenges that other content creators that have filmed, and we recorded the Messi challenge, which was basically at the time Messi had bleach blonde hair, so we went 1-on-1, best of 3. And whoever lost had to bleach their hair. So thankfully, I never looked like an idiot, and he did. But but no, honestly,
So did you want to be there? Did you want to be sort of like a comedy, like to begin with? Like, I don't know, because FIFA, even today, it's very hard to break that mold.
Yeah,
and
I think it's. I think it's hard to define a FIFA channel, really.
Yeah, I think
because I think all FIFA channels do a lot.
I think the problem is with FIFA is there's either so much content that they overdo it, and then they do so little content that you then struggle. Like in my live stream, some of the lads that come in every single day, like I know with them I can have a laugh, but with some people that come straight in and they're like, "Oh, what's 6 p.m? What did they bring out? What's new? What are you doing?" And I'm kind of like,
I know what you're talking.
And I'm kind of going, I don't know if I can have like a laugh with you guys because I've never seen you in here before. So I kind of like try and be as funny as such, but as deadly and straight to the point as it is. But I think YouTube and being off camera and being on camera are two very different things. I think you see. I think if you can be the same on camera as you are off camera, I think you'll be very successful at YouTube anyway. I
agree. I agree with that.
Because personality is a lot of like what people look for. To be fair, not many people in the FIFA scene are worried about watching 22 virtual people run around in a football pitch. They want to see you smashing up controllers or being entertained and having a laugh or See,
I find it so strange though. Like I going obviously talking about FIFA and like what content people watch and what's out there at the minute. But for me, this is why my hatred towards the game has just gone through the roof, because I feel like the love of the game itself, which is football, has gone out the window. Nobody wants to watch the game of football. They want to watch packs. This is the thing. They want
exactly.
It's become like a card trading game.
Yeah,
it's bizarre.
I think the only time they want to watch the actual gameplay itself is like, for example, that Anders kid, right? Everyone was watching him at first, obviously because he's a great FIFA player. Like the kid is practically a blow up sensation the way he's doing what he's doing, right? But it got to a point where you'd see a lot of viewers and a lot of people giving him stick, just waiting for him to lose. Like, I think that's what this community, that's the problem with this community in terms of
100%.
how toxic it is. Like, we're going to you see people going into a 14, 15-year-old kid. I don't know how old he is, but like, so he's young.
Yeah.
And you're going in and you're seeing people just waiting for him to lose because he's so good at the game.
Yeah.
It's like, hang on a second. He's good at the game. Like, he's a football player. He's playing the game. Like, this is the thing. Like, it's like LadToDad mentioned there. People want to see packs. They want to see the best players packed all the time.
Yeah.
They want to see an unreasonable amount of packs. I think people are so, because of the bigger content creators, shall we say, like, always having packs, FIFA points, icon SBCs, this, that. I think everyone's so like, okay, if you don't have 10 icon packs for me today, I don't think you're a good content creator. Yeah. And I just don't agree with that whole mindset. Yeah. I think that's where we are.
I think this is the problem, though, when there's the difference between, I don't dispute the big content creators spending thousands of pounds, of their money because it's a business. There's supply and demand.
Yeah,
but what I don't agree with is, like, you've got two types of content creators. You'll have like the creator that grind, so like you boys that do the bronze pack methods and things like that. You build up an audience on there. But the demand is to obviously see thousands of FIFA points being put into the game. The thing I don't agree with is the fact that the big content creators, that they're pretty much guaranteed to pack one of these big players. The amount of money that they spend on the game.
So it's like, law of science, isn't it?
How could you, like, how, I don't know. Me as an individual, how can you compete? But two, surely those reactions are fake when they're pulling these big players, because it's like
it gets numb. It gets numb.
Surely, like, you knew you was going to pull one of these big players.
Well, it's like I think it was 2 weeks ago I packed Messi on stream. And I was like, my first reaction was like, oh my God, I've packed Messi. Like, how sick is that? And then about 15 seconds later, I was like, well, he's actually only worth 350k. Like,
this is what I mean.
So I've just gone around screaming in my living room, like, I've packed Messi and he's 350k, where I could have got Ben Yedder on the first week and he was 500k, and I would have gone, oh yeah, I've got Ben Yedder.
But at the same time, the reason you reacted positively like that is because you've grinded towards getting to that play. You've not like chucked thousands of FIFA players on the game. I mean, I don't know how much you've spent on the game, but
it's the system though as well. Because I wouldn't, like I said, I don't have a problem with any content creator doing whatever they need to do to make content and grow their business and grow money and put food on the table. No problem at all. Because at the end of the day, we're all in this to obviously, make it some kind of full-time career, etc., whatever, right? No problem. But my problem is with EA, who have made the system tailored so that is the only way you can do it. For example, last year, REAPERZz, obviously, if you do BPM, if anyone out there listening, if you know what BPM is, you know. But it's a way to basically grind the game where you don't have to spend money. Yeah. Last year, I never, ever thought about putting on FIFA points. Never. I never thought about it because I always felt, you know what? If I don't want to spend FIFA points, I'll grind this game. I know what I need to do, etc., etc. Yeah. This year, do you know what? People, this is why. When people said that they took out squad fitness cards, right? People were gassed, so happy about it, saying, oh my God, it's a big thing. I thought straight away, they've done that, so they nerfed bronze pack method. Yeah. Straight away.
I made a TikTok about it. I made a TikTok about it. I said it was a great move getting rid of fitness, but then when you realise that they're being pumped in stadium items.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like
ridiculous.
The most negative thing about what FIFA have done I've started playing FIFA from like FIFA 11. So I've nearly played 10 years of this game. And the worst thing that they've done was all these promos. And I know
I don't personally think it was promos. I think it's just ultimate. For me, specifically, I think the biggest change that they made was when they made competitive FIFA gaming, or whatever you want to call it, onto Ultimate Team. Because if you remember, I remember back in the days when I played FIFA around 2011.
It was just Div 1, wasn't it? It was just Div 1.
Yeah, it was FIFA Interactive World Cup, and you had like if you remember Reaps, it was you know, guys that don't know, you effectively had like, I think it was like 60 games over a month to play.
Yeah, you used to play
but you could
seasons.
only use seasons.
I don't remember that.
You could use any team you wanted, and every player was rated the exact same.
85.
Like to me, that's the skill gap.
Yeah,
that's the skill level. That's where the skill level comes.
That's where I look at it, and I'm like, back then, that's when the true people who were good at the game got recognized for being good at the game.
Yeah.
Now, I firmly believe if you do not spend thousands of pounds on this game, you will never ever make it competitively ever.
So the only reason why I've said about promos is because if you notice, Fizzy will know. I mean, you haven't streamed FIFA properly for a few months now.
Yeah, a month, 2 months.
But what winds me up is headliners. Okay, headliners come out last Friday.
Yeah.
No, 2 weeks Friday.
2 weeks. Yeah.
And instantly everyone was gassed. Oh yeah, headliners. And then you get to Wednesday, Thursday for headliner promo, and the views have dropped by 40%.
Yeah.
And that's not because of no one wants to see the game. It's because they're going, oh well, there's another promo in 2 days. Who wants to watch FIFA? I'll just watch it on Friday when they bring another team out. Promo 2, Batch 2, or Batch 3, or whatever they do.
Yeah, it's the hype, isn't it? It's
true.
Back in...
They're very good at marketing. That's what I will say. The EA are the best marketers in the whole world.
They are.
Yeah.
They really are, mate. And I get suckered in every single promo.
But this community this whole community gets laughed at from other games.
We laugh it up.
You know,
we laugh it up.
We look at other communities and they laugh at us because they're going, "You're literally buying the same bloody game every year. Like you're paying. This is when you know a game is so broken." And agree with me, not viewers are obviously listening to this, but when you're paying £60 for a game and you pick it up, you load it up first day, you're buzzing, it's a new game, new teams, new players, etc. You put it in, and the next thing you do is you spend £80 on the game on 12,000 FIFA points. You've just spent more than what the game is worth on virtual currency.
It's the only game. It's the only game that I know of, anyways. Other countries or whatever can correct me, but it's the only game that I know where if you spend money on the game, it gives you a direct advantage to someone who doesn't spend money on the game.
Yeah.
If you spend money on COD, Fortnite, all that, you'll look really nice. Your skins, like got glitter all over it, cool, whatever.
Yeah.
You'll look nice. You'll get gas, cosmetics, whatever. But you won't. The damage on your gun isn't gonna go up.
Correct.
Like you ain't gonna build faster if you got a new skin in Fortnite. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas if you spend 12k. You pack a prime icon, you've got fucking millions of coins now.
Yeah.
And with millions of coins, oh my god, I can get Kante, I can get Neymar. Oh my god, he's such an improvement on my Rashford or my Sissoko in midfield.
Yeah.
Like it's just the only game that does that. It's ridiculous. It's honestly crazy.
But don't get me wrong. I still think there is a skill. I mean, you look at like Harry Hesketh. He's proven that if you are very good at the game, to a degree, it doesn't really matter what team you get. But theoretically speaking, because EA have created this like mentality that everybody needs to get their ultimate team, and the way I talked about it in episode number one,
isn't it?
Well, it is. It's like in episode 1, I said the only way to create that ultimate team is to either put your life savings on the game to get the best team, or
don't have a get out,
or literally be the best game, like the best player ever, or have pot luck, because it's gambling. It literally is. To
play FIFA at the highest level, you need to do two things. Like you say, you need to empty your bank account and empty it into EA's satchel, or what you need to do is you need to literally play this game full time. You need to play 30 games of Division Rivals. You need to play 30 games of Foot Champs. You need to play all the squad battle games. Then you need to do all the objectives. You need to do literally this game. I took 2 months off to play FIFA before, and it literally I sat here every day, and I didn't feel any better than when I did putting 12,000 FIFA points on and having a head start above everyone else. Do you know what I mean? It's just. This game does not benefit you playing it. Like LadToDad said, they've made it into a card game.
They've created it. It's to me, it is every game mode you go in now in Ultimate Team, whether it's even now with friendlies, icon swaps, all this. Like every game mode draft with this, skill-based matchmaking. Every game just is so competitive. It's like it's this competitive mindset, like you're going into a bloody LAN event every single game.
Yeah.
There's not a game mode there that is there for the casual other than career mode.
Yeah.
Realistically, it's like
that's a mode they won't touch and improve.
No, and this
makes them no money.
But this is the issue with the whole Ultimate Team. Well, by implementing their slogan of like you need to achieve your ultimate team, it's just creating this competitive mindset because everybody's like, I need to win every single game I can.
Yep.
You know, I need to piss off my opponents as much as I can so they can rage quit, so I get the win because I need this token. I need this win for FUT champs. You know, I need now with this Div Rivals 30 games. I need as many wins in Div Rivals. It's just like, at what point? Where does it leave the casual player?
Yeah.
Because to me, you know, I don't qualify myself.
But the casual player won't see all these issues though.
But surely they do, right?
They don't, bro. This is what I mean. I mean, listen. I mean, we've got a guest on, right? As you guys know, who's had some history of being the opposite of a casual player. But casual players won't know this. Like REAPERZz can probably back me up as like someone who's been around for a while and like, you know, in the competitive scene. Like how did you feel like when did you try to make that decision to try the game competitively?
So
like for you, like your journey.
I didn't know I was any good at FIFA, and I'm gonna be like deadly honest with you. I didn't know I was any good at FIFA until I went to a LAN event, Insomnia, at the Rico Arena. I think it was Insomnia 54. And
Wait, where was that hosted?
At the Rico Arena, Coventry.
Oh right. Okay. Okay.
So my brother went. I think my brother went a couple of times, and he was like, "Oh yeah, come down." It's like basically, it's an event that happens 10 till 6 in the 10 in the morning till 6 in the afternoon or night, and then after that, basically all the gamers there just get drunk. So basically, it's just it's kind of like
sign me up, REAPERZz. Sign me up.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, I mean, anyone who's interested.
Basically, like if you love gaming and you love drinking, it's literally your heaven. Yeah. Like it is honestly heaven.
Right, so for anyone who's listening or watching outside, like just describe what it is and how you get there.
So
like, what the actual event
the event is called Insomnia Gaming Festival. And you can literally, well, obviously at the moment we're not allowed to go, but usually it happens every spring and every summer. And it usually happens on Easter bank holiday, and it usually happens on the bank holiday in the summer. So it's usually around like August time. And literally you can buy a day ticket, you can buy a whole weekend ticket. You can do a thing called BYOC, which is bring your own console or bring your own computer. And you can bring your own console there. You're in a closed space, so nobody can like nick your stuff. They give you like a lanyard with a code on it. When you're leaving, they have to check your code, and you know it goes on. It goes on and on and on.
Tight knit, proper tight, like tight security.
And basically, I turned up to that event on the Friday. My brother, obviously, he knew he was half decent at FIFA, and he entered into the event. And I entered, and I got further than my brother, and I just kept on going and going, and then I lost to an ex-esports player in the semi-finals. And then I come third, because they had a third prize as well, so I come third. I was like, oh, mate, I won 25 quid, like, yeah, that's decent. And then
how long ago was it? How long ago was this?
Just curious.
How
long ago was this?
This was probably when I was 18, I think. So this was like
that's a rounding. That's a rounding, boys. 25 quid. Happy days.
So that's like 6 years
how
ago.
Long
that's
ago
6 years ago.
6 years ago. Right. What was the top prize? Out of curiosity, what was the top prize for the winner?
I think it was 100 and something pounds. It was 100 and something pounds. It wasn't like, it's not like a well-known esports game. It like esports event. Like, because
it's just like a gaming festival. I've been to one. I went to one about 5 years ago, and you were there. I remember you being. I didn't speak to you or anything like that, but like I knew you were there because Game hosted it.
Small world,
like
Small world,
it was. I think it was like the Game Hub or something. But you were there. I think you won it that time when you were there because you put something on. I think it was just before you signed for. Obviously the team that we're going to go into a bit of detail about, but basically it's just a big gaming festival and a place up.
And then and I'd only wanted to really go because the sidemen were there. The sidemen were like the main names. They were everywhere. They were telling people to go. KSI was performing on stage. He was performing. Lamborghini that just came out. He was unfortunately
Prime.
Who's the guy that he did No Sleep with? Sway. Sway wasn't there, but he performed it without Sway, and I was only there for that.
It was a hype.
And then the Saturday I turned up again, and I was like, if I can bag another 25 quid, easy dubs sort of thing. So I got all the way to the semi-finals, and I played the same guy. I was like, oh, this has got to be rigged sort of thing. And then I beat him, and then I won the final, and then I won the final on the Sunday, and a little esports team called Gaming in Motion were apparently watching me. Okay. They were watching me the weekend, and they come up after the event and said, we basically want you to play for us. So, and that was basically where the esports journey started. Then I was
they scouted you, really.
Yeah,
it's like scouting.
Basically, yeah.
So was that like a full-time position with them, or was that just sort of we want you to play for us under our
see how you get on.
So basically all it was before I was doing YouTube and stuff, I would be, so my gamer tag would be like GIM REAPERZz, and then my Twitter would be GIM REAPERZz, and I would get some sort of perks. Yeah, so basically I would get some sort of perks. It wasn't paid, it was just like controller grips and you know all that sort of stuff for low esports teams.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's basically how the ball got rolling, really.
So at what point then from that stage, obviously that's when you sort of were starting your YouTube at the same time, I'm assuming. So you were providing, you were producing content sort of on behalf of them, or was it more just content for yourself?
I never represented them on my YouTube channel, because I didn't do YouTube until I was representing another esports team called TPO. And that's when I was starting to do YouTube, so I would wear their tops in videos and such and so forth, and every esports team has got to start somewhere, and esports is such a tough position because you're coming up against people that are multi-million-pound owners, and like CEX esports have got massive amounts of money, and they can go, right, Tex, you're going to play for us the next year, we're going to give you X amount, and all you're going to do is you're just going to sit there and you're going to play FIFA. And then they'll go...
It's very much like F1. It's very much like F1, isn't it? You know, you've effectively got teams and you've got drivers. It's the same vice versa. But yeah, I mean, I can imagine some of these big guys that you were coming up against in probably online qualifiers and things like that back then.
It's a story of...
they had the money, didn't they?
If it's fun, if you have the money... This is the thing. In this kind of business, if you have the money, you have some kind of technical advantage.
I've never ever seen a professional FIFA player look scruffy.
Yeah. Well, this is
there you go. You can take that into whatever example you want, but I've never seen a scruffy pro player.
Imagine your company calling you up saying, "Mate, you need to clean up. We already ordered you a barber. Get in the Uber. It's outside.
We've just watched last night's stream.
Not up to scratch. Uber's outside. Listen, get your barber to sort you out. You can't have you looking like that. That is crazy though, because do you know what? If you can find a good like esports company, like an esport like employer, I guess some of them can actually really make you feel special.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
But then on the other flip side, they can also make you feel a little bit used. Like you might just be you feel like a bit of a guinea pig, like a little bit of just a puppet.
Well, I mean,
I think this
will be a good thing to go into about my other side of esports. If you want me to mention it now.
Go ahead, mate.
So
help us.
when I signed for Northampton Town Football Club, it was like such a surreal moment. It was something that I always dreamed of. Playing in not so much FIFA. I just wanted to be a professional gamer. I just wanted to have that title, and basically for weeks while this was happening. Where basically when you're doing deals and stuff, like basically players move into clubs, you're not allowed to say anything. You're not allowed to say, you can't say boo to...
Were you like under contract? Like, did you have to sign a non-disclosure agreement kind of
No,
thing?
So
like an NDA,
so basically while it was happening, I didn't basically want to go around and say, right, I'm signing for Northampton Town, everyone, and then it fall through.
Yeah.
So I was kind of just, as the ball was rolling, I was kind of like so gassed, telling obviously my family, but I wasn't allowed. Well, not I wasn't allowed to tell friends. I didn't want to tell friends.
Yeah, just in case. Yeah.
And then the moment happened, and honestly, it was it was the best and the worst 18 months of my life. And that's probably the easiest way to title that. Because there were so many. Not every person gets to sit next to a football player and ask them absolutely whatever questions you want to. Not every person gets to do that. And the fact that I was, I had my own game zone built in the stadium. They built me a part of their stadium where fans could go up and meet and play FIFA. They could play the newest FIFA. They could play on the newest consoles. It was so.
I'm really intrigued. Sorry to interrupt you. I'm really intrigued. Like, you've obviously gone from that esports and then that opportunity from Northampton. Like, how the hell did that opportunity come around? Realistically, because you're obviously doing your thing with YouTube. Getting drips and drabs of content out there, and you obviously had the esports side of things. With the smaller teams moving from team to team. Like, but then to have a big opportunity, which I'm assuming it was more than likely a full-time position with Northampton. Like, how did it come about?
So it wasn't a full-time position, so I still had to work.
Right.
But there obviously was perks of me being able to reduce my hours down at work, so I was able to play the game as much as they wanted me to. So they still wanted me to play in online qualifiers, try to get to as many events, play in weekend league, putting content out, blah, blah, blah. There was... And how it happened, basically... One of my friends is very, very good at marketing, like very good. He's worked in marketing probably since the day he left school. Okay. And he said, let's get you a full-time position at a football club. So he went round and he emailed loads and loads of football clubs. And the one club he didn't email, he went round and said, right, I've got a FIFA player. He's proven this, and this, blah, blah, blah. He's won this, this, and this. And the one club he didn't email was Northampton Town. He phoned Northampton Town Football Club. And they just came out. So he phoned up, spoke to some woman. They put him through to their marketing people. And was like, funny enough you should say that. We've just actually got out of a meeting about esports. They just had a meeting about it. So it was like a puzzle piece that just fit in.
It's the timing, isn't it? The timing just fit for everyone.
And basically, it was 2 days after he phoned up, they wanted to get me in. They were asking me questions about where I wanted to go, where I could see myself in the future, what my YouTube channel could possibly do. And this was all happening at the back end of FIFA 17 into FIFA 18, I think.
Okay.
So I officially signed for him about 2 weeks into FIFA 18. And
the interesting thing with football clubs, because you've seen it more and more. With even like some Man City, they've obviously West Ham, they did a big thing, and it's more they look at it as like another avenue to potentially get new sponsorships and new revenue and things like that. So is that something Northampton were really wanting to do? Because you had the bigger teams that were doing it, but you never really had anybody sort of on the lower end, like sort of the size of Northampton. Wanting to do that. I mean, what was the thought process behind them doing
all football clubs talk, right? All football clubs talk. Whether you're League 2 and Prem, they talk. There's talks happening everywhere. And the marketing manager at Man City and the marketing manager at Northampton Town, after I signed, the marketing manager at Man City was basically given the marketing manager at Northampton, because they've already done it, of what to do, how to get the ball rolling, blah, 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 so on and so forth. So they were very much like... they were very... The best thing about this whole thing was I was the first person to do it. Like, I'm the first person out of I ever knew to get a professional esports contract. And I had such... Like, I got to sit next to Regan Paul, which has played under-21s for Wales. He was under Man United's books when he was at Northampton. Obviously, being a Man United fan, that was massive. And, it was just... Everything about it was just surreal. And the weirdest thing was when they said they wanted to do like soccer schools. So they come out and said they wanted to do soccer schools, and I was like, I think that's actually a pretty sick idea. But they were like, we want to get you involved. And I was like, well, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not exactly, the next striker, And they were like, no, we want you to be, we want them kids to go out there and learn how to play football, but then we want them to come into you, and so then you can teach them how to play FIFA. So they basically got, so they basically took FIFA and football and made it into like an event, and then from the event, then kids were like over the moon. They were like, oh my god, I got to meet Reapers, and then I got to meet the football players, and it was so good.
How just a quick, how did that feel? That must have felt like, it must have felt good. Do you know what I mean? So
there was I will never forget him, and he's still a member in my stream now. His name was Tom Wilkinson, and if he doesn't want me, well, I've already said his
Shout
name.
Out to
so
Tom. Big up yourself, son.
Still a member, Tom.
I hope you're
We
listening.
love you, Tom.
Big up, Tom.
And I was clearing up the event. And he obviously, his parents or whoever come to pick him up. And he asked one of my work colleagues who was there, and he was like, "Oh, can I go up and see Reapers and get a photo with him?" And I was like, and she come up to me and was like, "Tom wants to get a photo with you. Is that alright?" I was like, "Of course it is." I'm like, I'm just as normal as anybody else, I had a photo with him, and I've been to events having a photo with Northampton badge just because I simply represented a football club. And as weird as that sounds, it was, like I said, it was the best 18 months of my life, and it was also the worst 18 months of my life. So much stress, so much pressure, so much like time you're taken out of your free time to then put back into being good at FIFA.
I think this is the thing to get across, because a lot of people don't see that, especially from the outside. When I seen that you had signed for Northampton, I was like, that is like amazing. It's a professional contract for a football club. Like, you can go home and you can be like, I'm like part of a football club. Okay, it's not as a professional footballer, but it's as what I want to do. Play something FIFA else, for them. Like, it's what I want to do. But people don't see what goes on in behind the scenes. They see all the glory, but they don't see this, like you just said there, the stress. The amount of time that you're putting into this to make it work. Yeah,
many a times I've had, I work shift work, so I work 6 till 2 or 2 till 10, and many a times I've come home and I'm like, right, I need to play in an online qualifier. I need to play on a Gfinity event. I need to play on like Virgin Gaming. I need to play on all these sites. And I would be up until like 2 o'clock in the morning. And then I'd be like, right, I've got to get like 2.5, 3 hours sleep, and then I'm back at work. And that's what I mean. Like, there's so FIFA is a game where you cannot play this game part time. You cannot play it. It's physically impossible. Yeah. Being a content creator, you can, because you can pick up the game. You can upload a video once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week. Playing this game, you can't. Yeah. It's physically impossible. Yeah. If you want to be the best at FIFA and you want to be good as Tex, Gorilla, Sean Allen, all these guys that have been around for absolute years, you've got to dedicate your life to this game. To be as good as the best, you need to dedicate your life.
But do you think the time that you invest into it is worth the glory at the end, personally speaking? I mean, I know obviously you can build up a brand and things like that. Like, you've got that Anders kid who's obviously built up a brand. He's earned income from live streaming. But when it comes to the actual competitive side of FIFA, I don't think it's worth it. Me personally, I just don't feel as if, though, the rewards that you get from EA, especially prize funds in comparison to some other games, don't necessarily show the amount of time and potentially money that you've put into the game. I think it's bizarre.
So I've played in a lot of FIFA events, and I've obviously taken a lot of my time into the game, and I've never, ever been in profit after putting my money into the game with prize money coming back.
I think that says it all, mate.
Do you know what says it all? When you see the likes of Fortnite, that's a free game, having millions of pounds in prize funds. And then you see a game like EA.
Was it $3 million that World Cup gave out?
Yeah. Crazy.
I think the top 100 got, what is it, a 50 grand minimum? 50 grand minimum to the top 100 players.
And I think it's just bizarre when you look at the actual numbers. Like, people don't get into the nitty gritty, but when you get into the numbers of the core numbers of just how much money EA are making just on Ultimate Team alone. I mean, I think it was last year, like 42% of their profits across the whole of Electronic Arts.
Imagine that
was on Ultimate Team.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not revenue, that's profit.
Profit.
It's on a bloody game mode on a game.
But you tell me a company, right, that can go out there and they can put virtual packs onto a game just by a click of a button. Like, they can literally go, right, we're gonna do 50,000 100k packs. They cost 2,200 FIFA points each. Rounds, no, they cost 2,000 FIFA points. And we're gonna release them at 7 p.m.
16 quid a pack.
Click, enter. That's it. 7 o'clock. And they're there.
And it's pot luck as well. What's in those packs? It's literally, probabilities that they brought out. You know, they brought out the probabilities, and it's just like, forget whatever those numbers say. Those numbers are there for a legal purpose.
Yeah, mate. It's like Reaper's just touched on lightning rounds. Yeah, £16 a pack. That is a average wage working for 2 hours. Click of a button. Gone.
And so some of us aren't as, even I mean, Fizzy, you're doing this full time. LadToDad, you're on furlough at the moment. You're trying to get this to tick over and be full time. Every single penny I earn from any branding or anything like that, I've always pumped back into the game, because I see this as something that people want to see. People want to see packs. People want to see, me scream because I've just got an 82 player and a bloody 100k pack. They like that stuff. Even though I'm sat here wanting to cry, they like that stuff. Do you know what I mean?
I know, yeah. No, it's true, mate. This is it. It's the content, isn't it? At the end of the day,
exactly.
It's like.
But where does that leave you? You've got to realize at some point, though, as a content creator, you're pumping all of the money that you're actually earning, by doing the hours that you're doing. You're pumping it back into the game. So where does that leave you in terms of wanting to, pay your day-to-day bills, like your mortgage and things like that? If you had that, it's the only game, and I will say it's the only game that's out of any of the games that are on the market at the minute that it's very difficult for a content creator or a streamer, who wants to get to that next certain level to be able to earn a full-time wage off this without having to put money back into the game. It's crazy.
Unless you have something so unique content-wise, right?
Which is very rare.
That people have never seen. It's very, very rare. It's like, just a quick one. It's like that that Luke Pingu, the way he's doing that FIFA Millionaire series. That's something that's unique that people haven't seen before.
Yeah, but that was already done.
You can probably
people have already done that, but then
was it done? Was it done? I haven't seen it before. That's why. If it's probably done, then fair enough.
But people have done it, forgotten about it. He's uploading it again, and now everyone's like, "Oh my god, new series!" And then it's the
new series.
It's the same with.
Well, this is
it's the same with Capgun Tom. I think Capgun Tom's a fantastic content creator, and the numbers that he pulls, and you think, mate, you got millions of subs. That people don't look at. People don't look at how much content you put out. People look at your subscriber count, and then they go, "You haven't got 10% of your views. Like 10% of your community hasn't clicked on your video, so that's bad content." And then they don't click on it.
That's mental though.
People say to have an active YouTube channel, you need to have 10% of your subscribers or 10% of your actual subs. So say, like myself, I've nearly got 28,000 subs, right? People say that every single video I pump out should have 2.8k at least to have a fully active channel. That's what people say, but it never works like that, because some videos I can upload and it'll have 300 views. And then some of the videos I do, it could have 50,000. It's like, well, where do I go from there?
We talked about it in episode 1, didn't we, Fizzy? It's the algorithm at the end of the day.
Beating the algorithm,
absolutely.
It's a case of supply and demand. It's a case of sometimes you can hit on the algorithm and you beat other content creators to certain levels of content. Other days, it's just not. It's not in. Yeah, it's not in. It's not in the algorithm.
100%. Going
back to FIFA, I mean, the situation with the whole FIFA points and being putting all your money back into the game. I mean, what do you think needs to change? Like, what can EA do as a company? Realistically, they're going to do nothing because they're making. They could do anything and people will still spend money on the game.
Yeah. If you had a change, like if you had the power to change.
If I could make,
What do you think needs to
if I
happen?
could make one change to this game, and this is me coming from somebody that's played this game at the highest level and somebody that's also does this for content. If I could change one thing, I would bin off pay to win, because it is because the first month and a half of this game, it's the best game ever. It is honestly amazing. Everybody using different centre backs, different left backs, different right backs, different set strikers, different right wingers, different players, Serie A teams, Premier League teams, Brazilian teams. People are doing this, and then once they build up coins, they start foot champs is then introduced. They get red picks, they get all this sort of stuff, and now they're going, I want Mendy, I want Varane, I want Gomez, I want Walker, I want Kante. And it just...
Do you know what I think? Do you know what I think the biggest thing...
I can't even
talk
talk too much. That's my defence right now. Oh, it feels disgusting.
Team Boozer rocking the Mendy and Varane. No.
Mate. I've literally got the exact Mendy, Varane, Gomez and Walker.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. It really
But that's
is.
Like, you
that's
ask
because the
anybody who
game
does-
forces you to take that. Because you play every game playing Kyle Walker, Gomez, Varane, Mendy, and you go, these guys, I'm not getting past them. So do you know what? I'm going to go out and get them.
I'm gonna get them. Yeah, I think the biggest mistake that guys did this year, you know, in terms of the game, was this for me has been the quickest time that a FIFA, in my eyes, has died. When I say that, I'm so used to everyone has that hype when a new FIFA comes out, and it's like it's the new, I talked about it earlier on, like it's the new game, new team, new grind, new this, and I actually love not spending any FIFA points at the start of the game, and I love starting with silver players that you get. You know, you have like a silver team with the odd gold player in there, and you've got like a bronze goalkeeper, and you work your way up. You know. But for me, the biggest thing, there's two biggest things. FIFA points need to go massively. It's gambling. Anybody who disagrees, I'd love to hear your argument. It is gambling in its finest form. It's not bloody Kinder eggs. It's gambling. And you know it's gambling, and I touch on this, you know it's gambling because they implemented a bloody restriction, a limit, and like a gambling
that limit
restriction.
doesn't work. It tells you you've reached your limit. Would you like to extend it?
Mate, but do you know what the funniest thing is? This is a 3-rated game. Right, a 3-rated game, and the only other type of thing that has a restrictions thing in place is gambling sites.
Yeah,
like it's just gambling. But that you know, FIFA points is probably for a whole new, you know, a whole bloody podcast on its own.
So we're all over the age of 18 here, aren't we? We're all over the age of 18, yeah. Yeah. So if you go into a bookmaker's, right, and you put 20 quid in the machine and you just click in spin, right, you get nothing. Put another 20 quid in, you're going to keep clicking spin, might not get nothing. The third time you might put 20 quid in, you might win the jackpot. And then you go, oh my God, I just won the jackpot. On FIFA, it's exactly the same. You could keep opening packs. Then you go, oh my God, I just got Pele. And then you go, oh my God, I've just got Pele. Do you know what I mean? And FIFA is very similar to... This game will be so unrewarding at times. Just like what gambling could be. You know, you could put £10 on whatever you want, like a football bet, and accumulate at the weekend. You know, it could be so unrewarding because the first team could go down. The first pack you open could be absolutely terrible. But it's just like that. It's so unrewarding. And then you get a good thing and you're like, oh my God, that's amazing. Like, oh my God, I just got this.
But I also think, you know, the whole... And I think content creators to a degree are also to blame for all of this, because you think about it, you've got the big guys out there, they're opening packs 24/7, they're chucking millions of points on them, and you know, to a degree they're saying to people, you don't need to put your money on it because you can just watch me. But that defeats the purpose. You know, if you're packing R9 and you've got an absolute god squad, I want that god squad because you're playing with that god squad. So what am I going to do? I'm watching you open packs all day, every day. What am I going to do? I'm going to go and open packs.
See, for someone like me, I mean... Obviously, there's millions of people that watch FIFA. Whether you watch a FIFA for 5 minutes a week or you watch every single one of Fizzy's live streams, you know, everybody watches FIFA at some stage. And what makes FIFA so unique is the fact that everybody could have a different coin balance. So, like Fizzy is on a road to glory, you know. And I'm and on my account. Oh, you was okay. Well, I knew you was doing it.
I got defeated. He
caved into the system. He caved into the system.
I caved into. This is from my point earlier on. Like last year, I would have never thought about putting
Yeah.
FIFA points on because
Yeah.
of how I could grind the game. But this year, I'm like, I have no content to put out. I want to try and get content. When people it's like you were saying, Reapers, like the point you made. When you're before 6 p.m. and you're chilling in your normal stream with your normal audience, you're having a laugh, you're playing a game here and there, you're doing SBC, whatever. As soon as that 6 p.m. influx come in, you get all these random new people who just want to see, are you opening packs? Like, can we see icon packs, please? Like, can we see the top of the top trim? Like,
Many,
do you know what I mean?
many of times I've been sat with an icon pack there, and people are like spamming open pack, and I'm like, I'm opening my pack for my viewers when I want to. This is my stream. It's got branded everywhere for me, not for you. So don't come in and just spam on your little keyboard saying that you want me to open up the pack.
It's a junkie, mate. It's an addiction.
Oh, yeah.
Literally, the way I treat it
It's
is
an
these people that come
addiction.
into the
It really
streams that
is,
are doing
yeah.
that, they're
It really
addicted
is.
to the game and they're addicted to pack openings. They're a junkie.
Yeah.
They're a FIFA junkie, literally. Like, they just want to do it. But like, going back to why I think that the game died the way that it did this year, because this is for me, no doubt in my mind, this is the quickest time that a FIFA has died. Whether because the game got released a little bit later because of coronavirus and things like that. But I think the number one thing that ruined it for me was the Div Rival rewards that you got when you ranked up. You know, the placement games.
Yeah.
You literally,
the amount
I played
of coins
5
they gave
games.
you at
I
the
won
start.
5 games. I got like 150k. I was like, well, this has just
150K.
ruined the game completely.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point?
And
What is
the
the
problem,
point?
another problem with the game is like the market can be so up and down. You could one day you could have 50,000 coins, and a 50,000 coin player could be worth 80k, and then after the weekend league, he could be worth 30, and you're like, well, hold on a minute. I bought him for 50,
Absolutely
could have sold him for 80,
Yeah.
and now he sells for 30. Like,
Don't get me started on EA tax as well.
Well, yeah.
Jesus Christ. I made up bloody virtual
man.
tax.
but seriously,
Jesus.
where does that go?
No, do you know what it is? It's a scam. It's
just
the
taking
system.
coins. It's just taking coins off
away
the
from
market,
you.
isn't it?
I always
Honestly,
had a
I've got this theory, Reapers. I want to hear your theory first.
I've got, so every player you sell, you tax on it, whether it's 200 coins or whether it's 2 million coins, you tax on it.
5%.
Okay.
5%.
EA absolutely pull your pants down, whether regardless you're trying to do the bronze pack method or you're trying to sell off your best cards. But I had a theory about 4 years ago when all these coin sellers were doing big stuff, like big business, like MMOGA, KSI, Road to Shore, Ennis and Gibb, all the boys were promoting. Everyone was promoting it.
Yeah.
I actually think the 5% went to these coin sellers.
You reckon?
Interesting.
That was
interesting.
That was what my, because how do coin sellers get coins to sell? How do they do it?
They effectively buy them, don't they, of people that want to sell coins. So what people do, hear me out, this is the way the system works. You have traders out there that spend 24 hours a day on this game trading. They might chuck on 12,000 FIFA points to get a good coin balance to begin with, and then they trade every single day, build up their coin balance to 5 million coins and sell it off to these companies. And they get given real life money. That's the way it works.
Yeah, I mean, you're
agree
probably
with your
right.
theory.
I just think EA take 5% off of every single player that anytime we sell a contract up to
every transaction. It's 5%.
Yeah, they take 5%
the amount
off.
of transactions.
But who does it go to?
But I'm going to open your mind when you think of the bigger picture, right? Look at the end goal. Put yourself in EA's shoes. What's your end goal? You want to make as much money as possible. How do you make money? People buy FIFA points. So what are they going to do? They're going to try and sup your coin balance as low as possible, so you have no coins to get the players that you want. So you're left with no choice but to buy FIFA points. That's just the way it works. Everything they do is revolved around FIFA points. You've got to put yourself in their shoes. Like, we look at us and we're like, oh, this game. But put yourself in their shoes. They're a business. Their end goal is to make us. They don't give a hell about us. They don't care about it. And no matter what anybody says, they say, oh, they bring out some really nice, fancy new cards. Team of the Year drops. All of a sudden, they've sent out all these Team of the Year packages to content creators to hype it up again. It's just, honestly, their end goal, if you put yourself in their shoes and you was in their position,
but
you
I
want
went
to make
down
as much
to,
money as possible.
when I was signed for Northampton Town, the chairman of Northampton Town is a big part of Special Effect, which is a gaming charity, which is for, like, kids or
Disabled
adults
children,
that,
isn't
kids
it?
or
I think
adults
it
that
is, yeah.
unfortunately aren't able to game as normally as what me and yourselves are like. We can hold a controller, we can press A or whatever. You know, they're not able to hold a controller, so they might have just like a bigger button, so they could just tap it. You know, and I went down to Wembley to release the special effect kit that come out on FIFA. And I was down at Wembley. You know, there was an EA representative. And he was there for minutes, mate. Like, he was there for minutes. He was in, showed us the kits, took photos with everyone, and was gone. Instantly gone. And, you know, that there... Because I thought that was... I was going to... I was going to vlog it. I thought it'd be quite good as a content to ask an EA representative some questions that I think a lot of the community will ask. So I didn't realise that he was going to come down. I just thought it was a special effect kit. He was going to send it in. It's special effect their own. Here's the kit. You know, we're now going to release it at 6 p.m. when it comes out on FIFA. Blah blah blah. But no, I mean, there's so many ups and downs to FIFA. I mean, Fizzy, me, any other content creator out there at the moment, the views are probably booming because we're coming closer to Team of the Year. And then after Team of the Year drops, it's going to drop by 10%, 20%, 30%. And then we're going to get to Team of the Season. And then we're going to be nearly back to what Team of the Year's out.
Again.
And then it slowly drops off again. And then boom, FIFA 22. And then it's just that rinse and repeat cycle.
And the thing is, though, we say it's a rinse and repeat cycle, but it's working, and people are still falling for this system. Yeah. So, you know, there's obviously, you know, a lot more people year on year that are complaining about the game, and you know, even somebody like myself, where I've played FIFA as long as you, Reaps, and I've seen it go from being such a fun game, you know,
absolutely,
to the point where. Like, you know, a game's bad when the bloody music in the menus is 10 times worse than what it was 10 years ago. You know, it's just, you know.
But I used to use like,
and it just upsets me because I know how good FIFA used to be. It used to be fun. There was none of this competitive.
An 82 rated Fabrizio Michele in FIFA 13 or FIFA 12. Mate, that guy was fit. Mate, he was 82 rated. And you could buy him off the market for like 5k, but he was fun. You could deal with skills with him.
Do you remember using Ramirez? That was another one.
Yeah,
What
about Ibarbo? Victor Ibarbo.
Oh man, Ibarbo, Dumbia,
but there's
Javinho. Oh,
but that was acceptable back then because they were low price cards, but big price centre backs could stop these. Like. I know they didn't have... Did they have icons? No, they didn't have icons back then.
No, they didn't. But, well, they had Legends on Xbox, didn't they?
Yeah, because they had Play Like a Legend, didn't they, on the Xbox? Yeah, the gaming events.
Legends, they had Legends.
But, no, like... But now you've got Mbappe, you've got Neymar. Every team has got Mbappe, Neymar, pretty much. Ben Yedder, Rashford, somewhere pumped into their team. And... It's not about having the best cards anymore. It's all about having pace and agility and good defending stats, and that's it. I've got 80 rated Colostoman in my team. I've got 6 million coins sat on my account, and I've got Colostoman that's 80 rated that you can go buy off the market for 2.5k.
Bizarre, isn't it?
It's actually mad, isn't it? When you put it like that, it's honestly crazy.
What is the actual point of there's Musa Sissoko is another prime example. People bin off Kante to get Musa Sissoko because he's got he's got better work, not better work rates. He's got better defensive stats, and he's bigger, so he's technically faster.
Yeah.
But what do you think needs to happen with the game that Reaps? Like, you obviously play it.
I think
you told us you play 60 games a weekend.
Yeah,
like,
I do play 60
you obviously
games.
have a love for the game. It's a love for football. We've played it for years and years and years, but. There's not that level of enjoyment that there used to be. But what needs to happen?
The game, in my eyes, started going downhill when we got the Frostbite engines.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
And
lads mentioned that before.
I've said it.
Yeah. We're only going one way, and that's exactly the same as FIFA 20, FIFA 19. We're just going the same way every year, and it's going to get to a stage where EA actually realise themselves. What have we actually done with our game in 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, or however long it goes on for? And then they go, "Oh yeah, we've actually changed the engine in the game." So then,
what was the engine before Frostbite?
I don't actually know what it was called. You know.
I can't remember.
Now you've stumped me.
I tell you what, let's have a. I'm intrigued. While you guys are talking, I'm intrigued. I'm gonna have a.
I think the problem with this game is...
I found it straight away. Ignite.
Yeah, Ignite. Yeah.
Ignite. It was an EA own game engine. So it's gone from an EA in-house game engine to Frostbite.
But we playing like they said the new gen FIFA, right, would be better than the old gen. I don't know a single content creator out there that's playing on the new gen because they think it's better than the old gen. I don't know a single, but because I've got an Xbox here, I've got the new Xbox, I've only got a PlayStation 4, but I'm playing on the old Xbox. I play on the Xbox One. I don't play on the Xbox Series S. There's no difference. The only thing with the Series S is you can load into the game about 100 times quicker. But when you get into the game, it still feels exactly the same. It feels no different.
This is the problem. This is the problem that I've got with it, the REAPERZz, is using an engine like Frostbite is well known for Battlefield. Battlefield is known to be a realistic game in terms of the way movement and things like that. The issue that you've got, FIFA's always been a fun game. It's not been a realistic game to a degree. It's been a fun game that you can jump on and just have fun. So what they've tried to do is they've tried to make it as realistic as possible while somewhat trying to make it fun, and it doesn't work. No, you have to have two. You literally pick or choose. You need to go down the realistic route, or you go down the fun route. You can't do both. You literally can't do both.
Don't try and
I think another problem is like that we're using the same icons. We've had the same icons for like 3 years. Like Maldini's been in the game. Ronaldo's been in the game. What?
I think that I think they should. Do you know what? I think that they should do stats refreshes on those cards as well.
But again,
I go back to what I said literally a minute ago, guys. I go back to a minute. If you put yourself in EA's shoes, why are they going to do any of this? Because they're making more money year on year for doing nothing. Literally nothing.
This is the discussion. Obviously, at the end of the day, we all know we're smart enough. We've played the game enough. We've made content on the game enough to know that the bottom line is they're making P's and they don't want to stop making P's, so they don't need to change anything because the numbers support what they're doing.
Was the craziest thing
for the discussion.
That David Beckham, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. They paid him £40 million to have his licensing, to have his camera, to have his image rights on a game, on a virtual reality game, right? He's getting paid more a week in being in a game than what he would at Manchester United in his peak time.
It's bizarre.
Yeah,
and you like
goes to show that goes to show they don't care about improving the game. They're just a marketing tool. That's literally it. They look at it and they go, Beckham's in the game.
How many football fans have gone, oh my god, David Beckham's in the game? As soon as they brought out David Beckham, I was like, holy moly, they brought David Beckham out. My brother, instantly, oh my god, they're going to bring David Beckham out. And everyone was talking about the game. They get you by the old short and curlies, mate. I'm telling you, this game, they're not interested. They're not interested in what we're talking about here.
Get you emotionally.
EA Sports will look at, if EA Sports ever watch this podcast, right? They would look at this and they would laugh at everything we say because all they're doing
100%,
is just filling up their wallets, mate. That's all they're interested in.
But it's funny when you touch about the David Beckham because the way that they marketed that as well, they're like, oh, we'll give everybody a free 86 David Beckham card.
Mate, that card is so fraudulent, it's awful. I'm telling you, every single person either a viewer or a content creator, every single person has told me that David Beckham card is absolutely dog.
I reckon 75.
It's just a talking thing. That's what I'm saying. They release it out, Beckham singing. Everyone talks about that. Then all of a sudden,
all shiny and all of that. Get out of here, man.
The numbers are looking good. The David Beckham announcement. Let's give everybody a free card. Oh, everybody's going to be mental. They were all gassed when they announced it. They were like, we're getting a free David Beckham card. Like, oh my god, EA, you're amazing. All this lot. And then out of nowhere, we get the card, and everyone's like, "Yeah, it's trash."
I reckon over 75% of the FIFA scene have put them into an SBC.
I've already done.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. I mean, mate, the first day I used David Beckham, I think I was trying to do I think I was trying to do some objective with him or something like that.
Yeah, there was they
Beckham's
brought out some
challenge,
friendly
yeah.
objectives with him. Yeah,
And literally, I went into a game, tried him out, and I was like, I'm literally getting this objective done, and then I put you into an icon SBC. I was like, I'm not even using you in my club. I'm never going to use you. But
it's just bizarre.
The thing is, with they could do so much with this game, okay? They could literally, from the tail end of this game to the top, all right? Why didn't they... Tell me this. Last year, they brought out a Gabriel Jesus Footmas card, okay? It was plastered everywhere. On their Twitter, on their Instagram, on their menus, okay? And he never came out. Never ever came out. Like... They have.
That's a marketing tactic.
It is. It's just a talking thing. So they are the type of company that any type of press is good press.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally,
they go by the old. They go by the old mainstream media mindset. Any publicity is good publicity. That's what they did with the ratings this year.
Yeah.
They knew how much those ratings annoyed and absolutely went mental.
Yeah.
That the viewers, content creators, everyone was tweeting about ratings.
Yeah.
Mate, I was losing my absolute nutting on stream about these ratings, right? And that's what they want. They probably, if they ever saw that stream, they are like, yeah, we got you, mate. You absolute plonker.
Yeah.
This is exactly what we want. You lot all, all typing on Twitter, getting all angry. Like,
that's how they go,
these
like,
ratings are trash.
They're like SEO. That's what
they're loving it.
SEO.
Ratings. Hashtag FIFA 21 ratings. Hashtag FIFA 20. Like, they were loving it because everyone was using the hashtags. Everyone was talking about their game. Everyone was talking about their ratings, how crap they are. All the big content creators were losing their absolute nutting. Right? Like, they don't care, mate. These guys would sell the nan down the river for a quid. I'm telling you, I'm being serious, man. I'm being serious.
Nan down a river.
Yeah, they would.
FIFA has a triangle, right? Where it's kind of like an upside down triangle, where like
I'm trying to picture that
at the top. So go back to FIFA 16, FIFA 15 when KSI. Every FIFA YouTuber would
prime
pull
content,
crazy views, okay? Crazy views.
Yeah,
and we're talking about from pack openings to using silver 5-star skillers to playing the game to doing anything, okay? And then you're now...
Do you remember montages? Montages, they were a thing as well. Yeah. So banging goals.
And then... But now, where are these guys? Where are all these big-time, famous, big YouTubers that streamed FIFA? That KSI, he used to sit on Twitch, and he would be if KSI was on Twitch now, he'd easily be the biggest FIFA streamer in the world. 100%. Castro would have nothing on KSI. Castro's a good content creator. Don't get me wrong. I think some of his streams, he has a great laugh on there, and you can't take anything away from him. But KSI. I mean, I've sat and wasted many days of my life watching KSI's content, from watching 10-minute clips to watching his whole live stream. Mate, I've watched his stream where he was doing FIFA wages, like wages. He would smash up his room, mate. But that's because how much money he was making through the views from just doing simple stuff on FIFA. If me and you now, Fizzy, we would jump off this podcast, right? Record a video about FIFA wages, right? And then
pink slips.
And then
no views, nothing.
But it just dead. But
unless we do something absolutely ridiculous, like if both of us had a prime R9, and we discard it, something absolutely extraordinary.
Something that you can put into a title. Something that you can put into a title that gets searches.
Yeah.
But don't you think though, boys, it's a generation thing as well, because you're going back to obviously the content that KSI used to do back in the day, and obviously we was in that generation. We've obviously grown up now, but the generation that are at that age now, they're not, the content that they're consuming is nothing like that.
No.
You know,
mate, I used to sit in Call of Duty lobbies getting sworn at by a 45-year-old angry Scotsman, and he was just screaming at me. And if you do that now, you get reported and banned. You get a communication ban.
True.
And it's like...
It's just the world we live in. It's the world we live in. Everything from, obviously racism and everything we live in. That, I mean, you look at the prime example. I know we're going off topic, but the prime example of, Little Britain and Come Fly With Me. They've come off Netflix. It's like,
how is that a thing, man? I don't understand it.
It's just bizarre. Honestly, it blows my mind. And you tie that in with the FIFA community and how toxic it is. There was toxic when we was in Modern Warfare, but it was meant in like, you knew it was a humour way. Yeah. Whereas now on FIFA, with the community that is on there, it's like people are getting mad at you for pausing the game to make a bloody sub.
Yeah. I mean, it's going back to like Edison Cavani when he got that 3-match ban.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I'm not saying it was right or wrong that the ban, okay? But he got a fine, okay? And for anybody that has a fine in real life, in our situation, it affects us, doesn't it? Like, if you have to pay, if you have to give parking ticket, you have to pay 120 quid. We'll all be like, oh my God, we've just lost 120 quid. Edison Cavani got £100,000 fine, okay? That's half. That's half of his week's wages. Yeah. £100,000, and that's not even half of his week's wages. Like,
I don't understand it. I don't understand the same thing. It's the same thing with there was a couple of celebrities that got done for like drink driving, and it's wrong. Nobody should be doing it, but these celebrities are getting charged a hell of a lot more than what you and I would if we were drink driving. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Just because they earn a certain wage.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with football, okay, and I think footballers, to one extent, are overpaid, okay, to one extent. But when they're on the bigger wage bracket, okay, and when they're like pumping 40% back into the government, and you can see Wayne Rooney was getting £300,000 a week. No, he wasn't actually receiving £300,000 a week. He was receiving just about £175,000 a week. Like,
it's 40% tax.
Yeah, and you think, oh well, where does that £125,000 go? Sits in the government's back pocket. They don't do anything with it. They try to put it into the NHS, or they try to do this, and I mean, the football for me is, I've always watched football, from grassroots football to Premier League. When I was able to, I used to be able to go watch my local football team. I've travelled on FA Cup days. I've travelled 300 miles away to watch them play, and I absolutely love my football team, but I just don't understand how somebody like them that tries so hard, yet Edison Cavani gets £100,000 fine, and he's sat there and he's going, £100,000? That's not even half my wages.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So my local football team, they're not professional footballers, they're semi-professional, so they still have to go out and work. But
I think I understand what you're saying to a degree, Reaps, because to a degree they are overpaid, but you've got to also think the amount of sponsorship deals that are in place, and the revenue is a lot bigger and things like that. Then of course it warrants to a degree.
I was sponsored at Northampton Town, so I was your
exposure in comparison to some of the massive football players.
But like at Northampton Town, I was a Northampton Town employee. Okay. So I was classed, if you actually went onto their website at one stage, I was classed. I was right at the bottom of the footballers, right? I was classed.
You're on the books, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're on the books.
So
you're on the books,
they brought these, if you can go back and watch my old live streams, it was called Imperial Cars. That was the... Now, why would a car company want to sponsor a 1920 I was 20 and 21 at the time. Why would they want to sponsor a 2021 that doesn't drive, that has an average audience of about 15? Why would they want to sponsor me? But they do.
Because somebody was a good salesman.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
But do you know what I mean? It's that thing.
Someone was.
I've had posh dinners, sat down with my sponsors and going, yeah, cheers, mate. They would pay for absolutely everything, obviously on a business card or whatever. But I've had some amazing times being a FIFA player. And I've got to admit that I've had some very, very big highs, and I've also had some very, very like big lows. Like sometimes where I've sat there and I've gone, yeah, I don't want to be playing this game anymore. Like even before we jumped into Discord, I was sat playing the Champs game and I was like, I don't want to be playing this. I don't want to play it. We don't want to play it.
I think we all were, yeah. And it's funny. No, to be fair, it's good that you segue back into the Northampton thing. I was just wanted to know, like, I think, well, me, obviously, I don't know your story as much as LadToDad. Obviously, today we've obviously known more and stuff. Yeah. But I think the viewers, like, for you as someone who's been in that, because obviously, like, even me, like, I'm so intrigued to know what that whole thing is about, like the esports, being a professional, actual gamer for a football club and things like that. What would you say would be like your worst experience, like while you was there? Like, what was your worst experience, like your toughest period?
For Northampton or for competitive FIFA?
So both. So start with Northampton. Yeah, we'll start with Northampton. So you can kind of segue into.
When I was with Northampton, I travelled to every home game. Obviously not driving. I travelled to every home game, which was probably about an hour's commute for me. And then I started recording with their players.
Yeah.
And I never done any of the editing. The editing was done completely by them. I turned up, probably about 45 minutes worth of recording. I would then go home. Like, I never done anything of the recording or whatever.
Did they pay you for that, or were you just part? Was that just part of your
That's the part of that they expected me to do. Yeah.
Just what you had to do, right? Yeah. Right. Okay.
So was this content? Sorry, was this content that Northampton was going to use on their social platforms rather than you being able to use that?
I uploaded them at exactly the same time as they uploaded them. It was exactly the same content. The only thing that my content had was I had my little intro at the start saying thanks for everyone watching the last one and so on and so forth, to make it a little bit different. But then it got to a stage where I was recording with so I had three really good weeks of recording with players, and the content was it wasn't fast. It wasn't out like. So I wouldn't record on a Tuesday and it was out by Thursday. I'd be lucky if it was out by the weekend. And then it got to a stage where I was turning up. I was paying to get to the stadium. I was paying out of my own back pocket, traveling to the stadium. They wouldn't
even cover that.
No.
Is it like a business?
No. Okay. And then because it was that's what they expected me to do. They expected me to turn up. You work for anybody. They don't pay for your fuel money to get to work. That's what they class as work.
True. Yeah. True. You're not wrong. Yeah.
Then it got to the stage where I was turning up, and the player would have gone home, or the players that we had down to record would have had to shoot off, family emergencies or whatever. Right. So this happened for about 3 weeks in a row. And, I'm spending my own money. People ain't turning up. And I was like, well, I'm not going to keep doing this because otherwise, it's just never going to meet. So that's probably the only real big negative at Northampton Town. Like, I was wasting a lot of time traveling there and back, an hour, 2 hours every Tuesday, when at the time marquee matchups come out on a Tuesday, I think.
Oh, the old days.
Yeah. There was some half decent content on Tuesday, so I was wasting a lot of my time travelling backwards and forwards.
So in essence, you were trying to let's be honest, you were trying to grow two things. You were trying to grow your reputation as a Northampton, esports player, but also your own personal brand.
Of course, yeah. I mean, how many people out there, mate, can put professional football player in their title, or obviously if it was as big as say Akinfenwa played at Northampton Town, he wasn't played when I was there, but Akinfenwa, you wouldn't title your video playing FIFA with a professional footballer. You'd say I'm playing with Akin bloody Fenwa, mate. Do you know what I mean?
Play Akinfenwa,
but
this is it.
No, because obviously some of the players in Northampton Town weren't as famous as small league players it's not really a small league, is it? The Championship, but Akinfenwa, quite big names. So I titled my videos, I think it was like FIFA 17, FIFA 18. I played with a professional professional footballer. And the first one I did was with Regan Paul. Regan Paul actually did a fantastic. For the first one, it was probably one of the best ones. For a neutral about football and about how he grew up and, you know, being a football star, signing for Man United and all that sort of stuff. And my second favourite one was David Buchanan. I think he played like 350 games for the club, so he was like a club legend. And he was the captain of the club. And Northampton Town nearly went into administration. And he can remember leaving the stadium and seeing fans outside the club like crying, like saying, "Are we going to lose our club? Are we, you know, am I ever going to be able to watch you back on a football pitch?" And even in the interview, you can see that he's like, even in the interview, you can see that he's not getting emotional, but you can tell that even in his voice,
he's distressed.
Even in his voice, you can tell him a little bit that it's affecting him. Even now, when I recorded it, my worst FIFA esports.
Putting your life savings on the game. I'm gonna guess putting your life savings on the game.
So from a competitive,
have you had any run-ins?
So from a competitive event, I played in it was an online qualifiers. And me and this lad, we've had a few words before, and that's what I think that's maybe what spiced it up a little bit. Me and this lad, we
is he well known? Or
no. He was just somebody that played on the online friendlies to get there.
Right, okay.
And yeah, we had a few words before, whatever. And I went 1-0 up, and the game quit. It froze, and it like DC'd me.
Oh my god.
So then obviously I've got a screenshot of me showing it's 1-0 and how many minutes the game is in. So then I had to go back to a representative. And then they said, right, you've got to play, don't start any of the game. You've got to play, you've got to score a goal. Don't play until the 22nd minute or whatever the minute was, then start playing again. And we literally must have played about a good hour and 25 minutes for one game of FIFA. Wow. And it was just backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards. And I think then, at the end of the qualifiers, I think I lost the match 3-2. And I just switched it off and I didn't play any more of the qualifiers. He pissed me off that much. Like, he got my blood boiling. Like, I literally could have sat here and snapped my controller into like a pretzel. Like, I'm not even joking.
Well, it's nice to know that nothing's changed about smashing controllers, Reapers.
Well, yeah, I mean, I did have at one stage, I did have the same type of controller as yours. I think I had the circuit board and a little bit of the shell and no buttons. Like, it was somewhere.
I took many photos of my controller in pieces in the bin.
Actually, I've never smashed a controller.
How?
If only I could show you my desk right now. My desk has got probably a good foot out of it where I've smashed the living daylights out of my desk and put my fist through it. And now I've got
this bizarre thing is we need to have anger management lessons. I swear to God, we're doing this over a bloody video game.
Yeah, it's a video game, man.
But
it's crazy.
I never take anything to heart. Like, someone could come into my stream and say, "Oh, Reapers, you're fat." Like, I'll be like, all right, mate. Yeah. And I'm going to end this stream, and I'm going to be as happy as normal as I started the stream, and you're going to think you've affected me, and you're going to be like, you know, and I'm giving you no attention.
Standard, isn't it?
Even with work, I obviously see customers, and customers, you know, that not every customer's as happy as the others. And you just got to brush them off your shoulders, mate. Like, I saw this tweet, and tweet was about 2 days ago. And it was like, if you drop £10 on the floor, right, and you had £85,000, would you drop the rest?
No.
Okay, so why would 10 seconds of someone being an absolute idiot ruin the rest of your day? Because that's how many seconds are in the day.
Yeah, that's mad, isn't it? It's true. Very, very true.
is a question for the viewers. That is an absolute gem there, mate. I'm not gonna
So,
lie.
Yeah, that is good.
And
I've never heard that one before. I can't lie.
I don't know to the precise amount of how many seconds it is. I've probably made it's not far away, but
I'm sure somebody will correct you in the comments.
Probably.
Don't get me wrong.
Sure
If anybody
someone
has survived this long watching, I'm sure somebody will correct you in the comments below. But listen, look, it's been over an hour and 20, guys. Editing on this is going to strain my PC.
before we go,
My beloved PC.
Oh, it's
For
gonna
those
be
that
lit.
don't know, but on a serious note, I had issues with episode 1, editing it out. Fizzy knows this. I spent 6 hours trying to export episode 1. So I'm looking at the clock and I'm like,
Don't
I've got one
don't
quick
say we
question
don't
for you
do
both.
anything for you guys. Yeah.
I've got one
man.
quick question for you both.
this is interesting.
Go on.
Okay.
Oh, go on.
We
the
was going to
guest
end it
is-
on a fun question with you.
Lad to
Go on,
dad.
we'll keep going, go on,
I'll start with the co-host first, right? I'll start with the co-host, then we'll go to the main man, Team Boozer, at the end.
Team Boozer.
Lad to dad.
Yes.
You've changed game. You've changed from
Yes.
FIFA to COD. Okay. Do you think mentally and physically you feel better about yourself?
I feel 100% better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Without question. Yeah. No controllers have been smashed. I don't feel like there's a level of pressure to try and get
Playing every game.
not playing every day, but just to get to
No,
the
as in
next
playing
level.
as in like when you play every game, it's like if you lose a game of
Yeah.
COD, it's like
Yeah.
we'll jump on another one. Come on, lads.
This
Pattern
for
this one
me
up.
is very casual. Like
Yeah.
I know that at the end of the day, if I lose a game of Search and Destroy or I go negative kills,
we love bit in S&D.
so what? So what? I'm still going to achieve a certain rank by the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
and the only thing that's pretty negative with this community, I mean, obviously I want to sort of explore different games, but with the COD community that I've noticed, they're not really happy with the skill-based matchmaking, especially the top pro levels that are streaming, because they look at it as though, well, I want to showcase my skills on the game, and because I'm playing people that are on the same level as me every single game, it's meaning that, you know, I'm having to sweat every single game. So for them, I understand that it's not so casual as maybe what it used to be, but for me, in comparison to FIFA, mate, this I come off happy with a smile, mate.
Yeah.
But this is what I was trying to say about FIFA, and this is a side that people don't see with a lot of the time. You guys probably do it, you know, watching this with FIFA. I reached a point with FIFA where, as a content creator, I wasn't enjoying what I was doing. I was coming online and I was just raging, stressing. I was feeling, literally the only word to say is shit. I was feeling really bad. And it ruined every single day that I did it. I was arguing with you know, my missus, and we fell out because I was just shouting at a game. I'm like, I'm raging at a screen.
The mental health, the people actually underestimate the mental health aspect of FIFA, and they think, oh, you're just playing a game, just stop playing it, blah blah blah. Like that's like saying like, oh, you hate your job, just stop doing it or something like that. It's just like they don't understand it unless they're actually in that position.
Yeah.
It's
of playing the game. Do you know what I mean?
Look,
the mental health aspect is huge.
To answer your question, Reapers, in short, yeah, mate, 100%. I fell out of love with gaming as a whole because of FIFA. I've played FIFA for like 18 years. Pretty much. I played it like when I was like 10 on like my PSP and PS1 and PS2. Like for me, I fell out of love with gaming because I played FIFA. I felt like if I didn't play a day without FIFA, I was missing out.
Yeah.
And I was like, then it was like I had a bunch of games sat here, you know. I ordered the PS5. I ordered a couple of games with the PS5, and I was like, because I'm playing FIFA, I've got no time to play these games.
Yeah.
Like I just fell out of love with gaming as a general, and now. Well, you've seen it today. I've uninstalled the game. For those that don't know, I've uninstalled FIFA for about the fifth time this year.
Just before we started this podcast, he was like, "Yeah, I'm out. I'm out." Yeah,
I attempted a weekend league game. I attempted a weekend league game, and honestly, the second the ref blew the whistle to start, my stress levels went up.
Safe see you later.
I was like, nah, I'm not having this. The worst thing is when you press a bloody button and it doesn't do what you want it to do. That's the bizarre thing. But look, honestly, I'm a lot more happier now, and for me, I talked about it in episode 1. I'm not so much looking at what numbers I'm getting in. I know obviously for you guys, you're a lot bigger than what I am, and you're on sort of the borderline of doing it full time. So numbers are a really key thing for you. But for me, you know, I'm enjoying myself. I'm going to play whatever games I want to play.
Yeah.
And if people don't want to watch, people don't want to watch. And I think that's just.
I mean, a lot of the time, I chill and watch streamers not because they're streaming FIFA or streaming whatever game. I sit and chill with them because I like them. I like them as a person, and I think them as a person and personality, like Sync Snipes. I mean, some of the stuff me and Sync Snipes have sat on Discord playing, you know, GTA, FIFA, and all that.
Yeah.
You know, I think Sync is. I think for such a younger content creator, I think the world's at his feet. I mean, I've said this to people that have come into my stream. If Sync Snipes doesn't make it, something's wrong with the world. Like, he just, you know, I mean, sometimes there's a few. Well, like, isn't there like an 11-year-old that's earning like millions of pounds because he does like football videos and stuff like that, like keep you up videos or something like that. I'm sure it's somewhere. But team,
isn't it that is it Ramel? Something like that?
I don't know.
Sure.
Oh, I'm talking about. I might be talking about something different. I don't know. I might be thinking about something completely different. Yeah.
Team Boozer.
But I think the issue that you two guys have got, not issue, but like the thing that you guys.
It's a factor to consider.
Yeah, like you guys obviously you're known for FIFA. So your struggle to a degree is trying to change your content to go to something else. And that's the thing that mentally you guys have got to put up with the game. Yeah. And I agree. I think the only thing that's going to fix FIFA, you know, before obviously we want to Team Boozer, I personally feel the one thing that needs changing is I agree with REAPERZz, the Frostbite engine needs to go. I think
you've said that. You've said that multiple times off air. Like
if you're gonna keep FIFA points in, which they will because it makes the most money. Just change the bloody game engine. Then make it fun for crying out loud.
I don't even mind if they had. I've said this. I literally said it before. Keep your FIFA points in. Earn your money. Earn your bread. Cool. Everyone has to pay their bills and do what they need to do. But don't change the game where people who don't want to make that decision of spending a ridiculous extortion amount of points, they can still log on to the game and be like, do you know what? I'm going to do this SBC and get this card because it's a similar card to the one that's on the market that I can't afford. Yeah. For example, they took out just a quick one before obviously we finish off on that because I know, you know, it's a bit mad.
The PC, don't worry, baby. We'll be
the PC's life. Don't worry.
You're gonna have to stroke the CPU to make sure it processes this. All right. Come on, baby, we can do it. Take it out on a hot day. You know, dress up.
Don't drop out at 97%, baby, like you did the other week. Don't do it.
But no, like just like with the SBCs and all that kind of stuff, they took out league SBC players, right? And they put them into the objective section where everyone's sweating their absolute arse cracks over. It makes no sense whatsoever. No one wants to do that. No one wants to go into a friendly where everyone's got lone Mbappe's, Neymar's, and lone icons because you've also given them free freaking icons to do that they can keep in their club. So it's like, oh, we got a Spanish objective. You know what? I'm going to whip out my mid Fernando Torres and slap up all the kids on there. On friendlies. Like, it's in the name, friendlies. It's not a friendly, is it?
What happened
do you know what I mean?
What happened to
it's
like, champs where they
don't change
made
the
requirements? Like, in one FIFA, they made you use, like, silver players.
They did that, didn't they? Was it in FIFA 18 or FIFA 17?
It was either. I know you had to play 40 games because I finished top 100 that FIFA. I finished 37-3 with a silver. Silver Meti, his name was, and a silver left back. I don't know who the left back was, but I used 2 silver team of the seasons, and
just quality time, isn't it?
Right, Fizzy, Team Boozer. Let's end it off on this then. Team Boozer, serious question. When are me and you gonna do a collab then, mate?
Oh!
When are we going to get a video on the go?
Whenever you want. What do you want to do? FIFA series? What we saying? Pink slips?
I don't know. I don't know. You've got to...
Fizzy, you don't want to do a wager. Question. You're doing Ian Beale. I've got nothing left if you do a wager with him.
Actually, that's true, mate. I've just realised.
Personally, for myself, it's not about... doing this. Obviously, I'd absolutely love to do this full time. That's the dream. Anybody that starts YouTube is the dream. But I want to get I don't want to get people with hundreds of thousands of subs on my channel. I don't want to do that. I want to try and start from the kind of like football. You got to start the grassroots. So like Sync, I already want to get Sync on the channel. I want to get other content creators like Hursty Games. I want to get yourself, like people that do live streams. I'm not saying that I'm
to be
a bit.
fair, we're kind of our own community, you know. I've actually realised, like, obviously you've got all the big boys who like mix with each other and whatever. They'll post their videos of the pack opening highlights, whatever they got on Twitch and Facebook and all that. But I think the community that we've got, this YouTube live stream community, it's actually turning into quite a big thing, because I've actually noticed a lot of other bigger content creators, although they may not say anything, I'm telling you they're watching, you know. Yeah. I'm telling you they're watching, or they're keeping an eye on this scene.
No, like,
they really are.
Even if we was to do, like, one of the videos that I've watched the most, and this is from all the peepers, is like highest team, like tallest team versus the smallest team. And I don't know why. Yeah. I don't know why. I just like enjoying watching Giovinco run rings around like Slabhead, and you just think Vestergaard and stuff like that. I just like that sort of stuff.
Yeah. No, I get it. Actually, that's a very good segue. Guys, leave it in the comments below what kind of collab you'd want to see between me and REAPERZz. What kind of videos would you guys want to see? Leave it down in the comments below. That's a brilliant little segue there.
Yeah. I want to start branching out with other content creators, and I just thought
I've been thinking about doing the same, you know. Like, the thing is, like, I've noticed recently, it's like you said with FIFA content, everyone's so hyped up for Team of the Year and viewers and all that stuff, but like gaining subs is hard, man. This grind is tough.
I haven't gained 1,000 subscribers since the FIFA come out.
That's mad.
Yeah, on the two previous FIFAs, I gained nearly 1.5k a week. Not a week, a year, a month.
But do you feel? I mean, me and Fizzy have talked about this off stream, but because of the situation with coronavirus, there's a lot of new content creators that are propping up. Obviously,
there is,
Twitch. You know, we've talked about it. There's been a handful that we know that have
blown up a little bit.
Yeah,
look, mate. I watch FIFA, okay, and I have to admit, I watch FIFA. But I don't really go out of my way to go and find a content creator. Like, I don't really type in FIFA 21 live stream and just go and think, oh yeah, I'll join Billy Bo Blogs that's got 50 people watching because he's doing a pack opening. I would look at my sub box and go, oh, no one's live, and then close YouTube. Do you know what I mean? And that's the way I've always, like, I've pretty much always done that. I've never gone to...
Well, this is it. I think the homepage now is the best place where you can get recommended.
Oh, absolutely.
People, I've noticed so many people say, I'll be honest, man, I didn't even get your notification. You weren't in my sub box. Like, you were just on the homepage. Honestly, I do it as well. If I open up a tab on YouTube, right, 99 times out of 100, I will click on a video that I've seen on my recommended. The 8 videos that you get on the homepage, I'll click on one of them to watch.
And like,
I won't direct, unless I'm specifically looking for something on that particular day, then I'll go into a sub box. Oh, who's uploaded? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But other than that, whatever the homepage is saying, I'll just click on one of those.
See, I found new content creators just through raids. So, you know, obviously when you finish your stream, you know, usually a lot of people, I know some people don't, but, you know, most of us in this community, we try and raid each other to try and help each other out. But I always do it where I search, obviously, the game. So when I was on FIFA, I'd obviously look at the game, and you have the live bit, don't you, on the game?
Yeah,
so you can see who's on there. And it's like, I'd see somebody new crop up, and I'm like, oh, they've got, say, you know, 4 or 5 people watching them. Let's check them out. And that's how I've sort of started to see a lot of newer streamers crop up that I've never heard of before, just through that method rather than actively.
And I think a lot of YouTube is YouTube never happens overnight. I've spent 4 years doing YouTube, and I've 100% loved the journey. 100%. I'd probably say the last 4 years have probably been some sort of highlight of my life as such, you know.
Well, it is a highlight of your life. Like, that is your story.
The thing is, I've met some great people. I've had some absolute amazing times at events. I've got a community that I feel like, even if I was to put myself onto this camera that you're seeing now, like with no gameplay, I still feel like they would watch, you know. And that's what it's about. It's not about, and I know a lot of content creators out there look at numbers. I'm a number critic. I am. Sometimes I've sat with 30 people playing a game, and I'm like, why is there only 30 people in it? No one in my chat. No one in my chat's talking. And then I'm like, because nobody wants to watch gameplay. Nobody actually wants to sit
this
there.
Is why I'm a menu streamer, mate. The worst thing is, I'm not a menu streamer just because people like packs and stuff. I actually enjoy the menus.
Yeah.
For the past 3 years, League SBCs and all that kind of stuff, I was getting my content out of that. Yeah. That's where my content. Last year, all of my content was based on how to grind the game without spending FIFA points because it's something that I believed in and something that I did myself. That's how I got packs every day to open up and all this kind of different stuff. Now, I can put out a bronze pack method video because you can still do it like that, but it is tough. It's much harder.
Yeah, but how many of you guys, sometimes I record a video or I think of an idea for a video and I go, yeah, that's a proper sick idea. I'll write that down, get up the next day, or, when you're lying in bed, you get up the next day, you type it in and you think, oh, well, about 3/4 of the FIFA community have already uploaded it. Yeah, I haven't seen it. Do you know what I mean? Or anything like the squad battle.
But does that prevent you from uploading that video?
A little bit, because I think if people have already seen it, they don't want to see it.
People have already seen it. They won't care. Yeah.
See, I'm different to you boys. I look at it and I'm like, I just do stuff that I want to do. And if I gain numbers, I gain numbers. And that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. It's amazing to see it from different perspectives because obviously you boys have got that, bigger following and you are borderline, potentially making this full time. So I understand why you're very number crunching. But sometimes I feel number crunching, and this is my personal opinion, just number crunching messes with your head. You overthink, you stress for no reason.
I've uploaded a video.
Then that can have an impact on your content that you're pushing out.
I've uploaded a video in the back end of FIFA 20 before I started doing Fall Guys and different fun games and all that sort of stuff. I literally put out a video and I was like, does nobody want to watch me? And then people in the comments were like, yeah, we've clicked on this video to watch you, but we don't want to watch FIFA. We just don't want to watch FIFA.
Mental, innit? Yeah, it's mental. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. This is the thing. Viewers' opinions and everything change so differently. It's honestly crazy.
Yeah.
They'll change what they want to watch. They'll be. This is the thing. This is why you can kind of class your sub count and your viewer base into specific categories. You'll get the massive hardcores who will literally watch you if you're on the toilet. Right, regardless. Then you'll get that outer circle who will watch you. Yeah. They will watch you for what you're doing, but they would prefer it if you're on FIFA.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you've got the outside tier who wants to watch FIFA, and if you're giving them the content, they'll subscribe to you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's it's like a tier system. But yeah, it's difficult, man. Like I said, even with me, when I live stream and things like that, I'm a number person and it messes with my head. I've been speaking about it with Lad outside. It's messing with my head. It is, and it's so hard to get out of the habit of consistently looking at analytics, looking at numbers, and being like, "Oh, today was a good day,"
Yeah.
Or "Oh, yesterday was better." What changed today? Where's everyone gone? Do you know what I mean? It's that fear of it's that fear of not being relevant, I guess.
I mean,
I think that's what happens.
Even now, last Team of the Year, I had 2,000 people sat watching me, and many people come into my stream and go, oh, well, you had 2,000 people in for Team of the Year last year. So why are you now sat with 50
makes
people
you feel
like
a right stinker, innit? I can imagine.
I just think, well, Team of the Year is the biggest promo of the year, regardless. Everybody does well at Team of the Year. You could have no subscribers and you'll get views.
if you can put out a good thumbnail, put out a banging title, right?
Good tags.
Something similar, whatever, tags, all that SEO bollocks, right? You're all good to go. Yeah, you can. No, honestly, he's right. You can. People blow up from hype.
Yeah.
There's a content creator, complete different topic. There's a content creator who started Among Us, right? Among Us in the summer when the game came out. Within 2 months, he's on 80,000 subscribers from that one game because of the hype of the game.
Bizarre, isn't it?
People can blow up. I'm telling you.
I stream.
And with Team of the Year, it's a big one.
I think the best thing that I can, from my point of view to you guys, is it just takes one. It takes one video.
Oh,
right? It takes one video, man. But when you upload every day, bro. When you upload and live stream every day, you're thinking, Can we just get to this video now? Like,
yeah, is this the one? Is this the one that's going to explode?
Is this the one? Is this the one?
Just honestly, boys, I said this to Fizzy, and I'm just going to say it because since me changing games, I've just had so much fun.
Yeah.
And just don't stress. Honestly, man, don't stress. I know FIFA's difficult, especially you REAPERZz playing 60 games, but like, honestly, don't stress. Stress is the worst thing, though. And I say it day in, day out to Fizzy when we speak. Like, if you stress, you bring yourself down, you overthink things, and naturally it impacts the stuff that you want to push out there. It can impact your live streams. It can come across sometimes as though you're so desperate. The downer. You're so desperate for it. It's just like, just fucking, just enjoy it. You know what I mean? Just enjoy it.
Yeah.
100%.
But 100%. I'll tell you what, lads. Let's end it on a fun one. All right.
Yeah.
Go on.
We talked about a random question. All right.
We did.
And the random question that we've got, it's nothing spectacular, but it's just completely different. But we want to know, REAPERZz.
Yeah.
Do you wash your legs in the shower?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you obviously start from the top to the bottom. I always wash my hair first, then I do a little bit of chest, and then wash the private parts, and you move down. You gotta do what you gotta do.
It's all a system.
So you don't just let the water trickle down and you forget about your legs, right? Because chat. Sorry, people in the comments that are watching this, let us know. Do you?
Listen, I'm looking at the camera right now. I know there's people. You don't touch any part downstairs. Don't lie to me. All right.
That's the dirtiest part. The water runs off you and it goes that way. That's the dirtiest part. That's why you got to start from the top to the bottom.
But that's what I'm saying. Trust me, when you think about it, I can guarantee there'll be people that'll think about it and go, "Oh, actually, thinking about it, no, I don't wash my legs in the shower."
Really. Listen, you need to smell clean. You need to smell good. Personal hygiene's a big thing. 2021,
Coronavirus.
Girls don't like smelly boys. All right. They don't like smelly guys.
I just want to say a quick thank you to having me on again. It's been a pleasure.
Honestly, it's been great.
Do you know what? It's been a brilliant episode, and to be fair, we could keep going. We can keep on going. But Steven's PC is gonna die. We'll have to, as REAPERZz said, smooth her out a little bit, give her a little present. Go on.
I will.
Yeah, we'll have to do some hard work for her.
I'll have to put her in sleep mode for a little bit. Bless her. Sure she'll be all right. Yeah. But yeah, listen, REAPERZz, it's been great to learn your story, man. I knew vaguely a little bit about it. I know Fizzy pretty much knew nothing.
So it was I didn't. So it was really interesting to hear, like, because I was very intrigued about like the pro side and stuff. It was really interesting to hear about that, man. So,
it's been great. And thank you, man, for being obviously the first guest of our new podcast channel.
A pleasure.
The Vibe Podcast. It's been a pleasure, mate.
Yeah, 100%, dudes.
Awesome. Right, guys, that's going to be the end of episode 2. As always, I really would appreciate it, all of us, if you could hit a like on this video and obviously subscribe to the channel if you are new. Keep your eyes peeled for episode number 3.
Episode number 3. Obviously, guys, we're available on all platforms soon. We will be, all the Spotify listeners, we will be out there. So follow and all that stuff and do all the fancy stuff. But yeah, leave it in the comments below. Who would you want to be the next guest on the podcast? And also, in the next episode, we want to start doing a dilemma section where we're going to be taking your guys' question and putting it to our guests. So if you give us a dilemma that you're having in life, something's not going right with the ladies, we're going to put it through to the guest and they're going to help you out. So make sure if you want to get involved with that, drop us a DM at the Vibe Podcast on Instagram. Links will all be in the description for you guys. So we'll include that in our next section and hopefully some of your questions can come through. So yeah. Brilliant scenes. Thanks for watching, guys.
Wasn't it? It was a bit awkward.
I wondered what else was going to be said.
If you see a part where we're all looking at our camera, looking a bit puzzled,
I was just about to click stop recording.
This is. Thank you so much, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.
See you. Peace.